Hello and welcome back to Crypto Empire, where we dominate the crypto market. My name is Connor. I am the Crypto Emperor, and this is another Crypto Empire live stream. I do want to welcome everybody to the stream. Today it is Sunday, July 17th, 2022, and we do have a lot to talk about today because it's actually been 1 week since I have done a stream or made any video. That's the longest period of time ever on Crypto Empire that I haven't put up a video. So I'm very eager, giddy, and excited to be back here in my studio, back in action, and I hope you're all excited as well. With that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at today's live chat and see who we have in today's audience, because I am more than thrilled to have you all here. Big shout out to Woody saying happy Sunday, looking forward to a great show. We have Dalton saying what's up fam, hope the move went good. Connor, back from vacay, let's go. Indeed, move went very smooth and I'm back in action, not going anywhere. Good to see you, Dalton. Big shout out to Labradoodle saying afternoon Empire, Connor is the man. Can you look at Algo, CRO, and Ape? For sure, we will be looking at a lot of altcoins today. We'll be spending a ton of time looking at the altcoins, so be sure to stick with me until the very end of the stream. But good to see you, Labradoodle. Big shout out to Dre, and then big shout out to Aisha saying hello, sir, and Maria saying hola from Mexico. Aisha, yes, I am here indeed. With that being said, let's go ahead and hop into the crypto market overview. Before we do that, I do ask that you please smash up that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Help get this content out to more people. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the crypto market and start getting into today's scheduled programming for the live stream. So Bitcoin trading at $20,990. There's a big debate right now whether Bitcoin will melt up to $25,000, $28,000 on a big relief rally, or if this is just another bull trap. I'll be sharing with you my thoughts in just one moment. Let's continue looking at the overall crypto market right now. Ethereum trading for $1,357. BNB at 250, nice breakout there. Really everything broke out, but BNB did have a nice little run up. Cardano at 44.9 cents. Then we have Solana, Doge, and Polkadot as our top 10. Polygon Matic has been on a tear. Everybody inside of the Crypto Empire Discord expected that to happen for over a month now, right? We've been watching Matic like hawks, expecting that to melt up, and it has played out exactly as we anticipated it to. Let's go ahead and take a look at today's top gainers on the 24-hour time frame. We have Lido up 25%, all right? Interesting, up 155% on the week. Of course, Lido is where you can go ahead and stake your Ethereum. Now we have Ethereum Classic, ETC, up 14.4% on the day, 24% on the week. We'll see what happens here with Ethereum Classic. Could be a potential short setup with how bullish it is right now. We'll be looking at the chart. I'll be sharing with you my analysis on that in just one moment. Then we have Theta Fuel up 12.8%. And then a bunch of single-digit gainers such as Filecoin, ApeCoin, Polygon Matic, ICP. Add ICP to your watch list. We can for sure do something with ICP, but really so many opportunities out there. Let's go ahead and take a look at today's top losers. We have Curve down 5.4%, CRV. CRV had a very nice run up from last week after the CPI meeting, had a very strong recovery. And we also have SNX Synthetics down 5.2%, Zcash. No real big losers today. The market is relatively bullish for the most part within the past week or so. And let's go ahead right now and take a look at Bitcoin and start going over that. Before I do that, I do want to give a shout out to Trucker Steve, aka Steve Sabat, saying Trucker in the house. Welcome, man. Missed you, brother. Good to see you here, Trucker Steve. I'm glad that we can come back here and do the live show, because I know when you're trucking out there on the road, you do enjoy listening to the Crypto Empire live stream. So it's good to see you here. We're back in action. Big shout out to Trucker Steve and every trucker, every single craftsman, tradesman out there who does the work to make this whole entire world run, right? Without blue-collar workers, without people who can get their hands dirty and have skills, make things, build things, really everything would collapse. And unfortunately, more and more people are choosing to pursue other careers outside of these fields, and I think that's a huge mistake, especially long-term. Anyway, that's a debate for another day. Let's go ahead and look what else is happening. Aisha saying, sir, I watched your video about A0 project a few months ago. Sir, do you still believe in A0 project nowadays? Kindly sharing your thoughts. Yes, Aleph Zero is a great layer 1 blockchain. I haven't been keeping up with its during the bear market. I haven't really looked at their Twitter account or any news updates about Aleph Zero, but the fundamentals are still there. Good project, good layer 1 blockchain. I do still like Aleph Zero. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Bitcoin chart right now and go over our Bitcoin technical analysis. What most of you guys are, I'm sure, here for, right? What's going to happen next on Bitcoin? Well, here we are looking at Bitcoin on the daily chart, and what do we have here? We're in one big range. High of the range is going to be up here at around $22,800. You can call it $23,000 to round it up for simplicity's sake. Of course, when you're trading, you want your exact numbers. For specific broad analysis, you can call it 23K as the top of the range. At the bottom of the range is going to be down here at around $17,500. All right, and we are just bouncing in between the range. Not a lot happening here. Of course, we can look at Ethereum. Let's look at ETH very quickly before we do go back to Bitcoin. Ethereum leading the way. As you can see, Ethereum did break out from its overhead supply level from the top of its range. So Ethereum is leading the charge right now. We'll see if that can continue, if it can continue its momentum, or if this is just one big, large fake out here. Because I am very skeptical. I will let you know about this relief rally. I am exercising a lot of caution right now. A lot of bullish sentiment out there on crypto Twitter, on YouTube. Everybody's super excited. I'm not buying it just yet, all right? Really, until Bitcoin can close above $21,800. If we go to the 4-hour price chart, I can explain that level better. But over here, you can see our red supply level, 21,800. On the daily, we were never able to close above 21,800. 21,800. So $21,800, major level. This is this red supply zone up here. Notice how when we did go ahead and test the highs, it's just been a wick every single time and closes below 21,800, especially over here, right? We wicked as high as 22,500 on the daily, but we were still rejected. So unless $21,800 can be recaptured and closed above on the daily time frame, the relief rally is not going to happen. Now, of course, when we do our TA, we're basically trying to predict the future. So it can happen and it cannot happen. What has the highest probability of happening? I would say it's relatively split right now. I would say it's relatively split around 50-50 whether or not we do get this relief rally. But I am super skeptical just because of how bullish everybody is on social media everywhere. Everybody's super excited about Ethereum going up by a few percentage points. There's no reason to celebrate just yet. We are in the middle of the bear market. The macroeconomic outlook is very dismal, and it's going to take a while still for that to turn around. So even if we do get a breakout here, it's only a bear market relief rally and not a huge change of macro sentiment here in crypto, all right? So just exercise a lot of caution. Now, yes, I'm speaking very broad analysis right now, so let's dig it into more local hyperized analysis on Bitcoin. To do so, let's look at the 4-hour price chart. So as you can see, we have not been able to recapture 21,500 over here, 21,430. It is Sunday as well. When it's the weekend, I go over this every single time I do a live stream on the weekend. The price action is not nearly as reliable on Sundays, especially Sundays. We see a lot of moves and then it gets totally erased the next following day. Right, so it is Sunday. There's another reason why I'm super skeptical of all of the rallies and the bullishness we're seeing in the market right now. Unless you're long from lower, you should not be buying this pump right now. All right, unless you're already positioned, unless you're already in altcoin trades from lower entry levels. Right, if you're buying ETH right now, if you're buying Bitcoin right now, you're buying into resistance. You don't want to buy into resistance. You want to buy when price is at support, right? You want to sell when price is at resistance. So just exercise caution. So Bitcoin really just consolidating, chopping around heavily. 21,800 is the level that must be closed above on the daily, right? And honestly, I could see price going up and retesting 21,800 up here into this supply zone, and I'm going to be looking for shorts up here personally. If we do go ahead and get into the supply zone again, I will be looking to short this supply level at $21,700 to $21,800. All right here is where I'm looking for the next short on Bitcoin. right? We go ahead and we want to short at supply, short at resistance, not buy at resistance or buy in supply levels. So long story short, that's pretty much it, right? Basically, I'm expecting Bitcoin to go ahead and get back into this level. We short it goes back down. Pretty much what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. Let's go look at Ethereum as well, because Ethereum is, of course, leading the way currently. So ETH, some may call this a flag, right? You can definitely call it a flag. Really, it's just consolidation. But if this was a flag, you would take your flagpole and it would look something like this, going up to around $1,550 approximately, with a measure move price target for a flag continuation here. It is possible, but again, I am exercising a lot of caution right now. Price having a hard time getting through this resistance. Again, weekend volume is not to be trusted. If we look on the daily, it's pretty decent volume, right? Especially look at how Ethereum was trading in terms of volume weeks and months ago, March, April, May. You know, these 2-day blocks, these are all weekends. Usually we have extremely low volume on the weekends. We actually have some decent volume this weekend, okay? So very interesting. But again, I don't trust it. It's the weekend right now. It is Sunday. Sundays are notorious for their scam pumps. But anyway, decent volume this weekend on Ethereum. And yeah, I don't want to be a buyer after this pump. Okay, and like I was saying, unless you're already positioned from lower levels, unless you were taking your entries lower, I'm not willing to pay the premium and be buying in supply. You want to buy in demand, right? Wholesale prices. You don't want to pay retail. You want to pay wholesale. Right now, you're paying retail. ETH, I still think it's going back below $1,000. I still think everybody's going to have their chance to scoop up a lot of ETH for under 1K. Personally, I don't think this bear market's over yet. Yes, the Ethereum merge is coming up in September, and a lot of people are saying that it's the most bullish thing ever, and Ethereum is going to be back up at $2,700 and above 3K right after the merge, and it's going to ignite the bull market again. To me, that's all crazy talk. I don't buy it. That's just me, right? If you want to believe that narrative, you go ahead and do so, but you're ignoring the elephant in the room. And really, there's several elephants in the room, from inflation, supply chain issues, raising interest rates, earnings, unemployment will only go up from here. It's looking bleak, like I said, on the macro. So if you want to buy into the narrative that, oh, the Ethereum merge is coming up, everything's going to get better now, Ethereum's going to be back over $2,500 right after the merge, be careful. Be careful is all I'm saying. Of course, nothing I say here at Crypto Empire is financial advice. This content is for educational and entertainment purposes only, but I'm sharing with you my objective analysis, what I, think after all the data that I've basically perceived. I am highly perspicacious, right? I'm usually right more often than I'm wrong. So I don't think that we are out of the woods yet with this bear market, personally speaking. Let me go ahead and catch up with the chat, see what's going on. Big shout out to Glasshopper77 saying let's get some hype up in the chat. Absolutely, let's get some hype up in the chat. And also, if you're enjoying the live stream thus far, be sure to let me know by smashing that like button down below. And if you are brand new to Crypto Empire, if this is your first time here, I do want to say welcome, and be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. And of course, turn on all bell notifications so that you don't miss any future videos. All right, so that's ETH right now. We are at resistance. If we do get the bullish move, it's possible, right? Like I said, it's pretty split, but if I had to pick one, I would be bearish right now at resistance. But if we do see a push up higher, it's going to around $1,540. Move lower, this thing's going back down to 1K, right? Sub 1K again. So no rush to start throwing all of your money at crypto just yet. It is not that time. It is not that time. It's not like we're in March of 2020 when that money printer switch got turned on. No, it is not that time right now. It's still tightening, and the macro does look very bleak, all right? So ETH, we'll see what happens at resistance here, but I am overall macro bearish. Short term, a little bit split. We'll see what does happen. Again, I would not be buying into this pump. I would not be buying anything right now. I would only be riding out positions from entering much lower. That's it. Let's go ahead and take a look at some other metrics. First thing, let's look at the dollar. Another thing that you need to obviously keep an eye on. when it comes to the Bitcoin bear market talk, crypto bear market, is it over, etc., etc., etc. The dollar is only going to be getting stronger from here, in my opinion. And of course, there is an inverse correlation between the dollar and Bitcoin within cryptocurrency, risk on assets in general. So if the dollar does fulfill my prediction and continue to go higher, what does that mean for Bitcoin? It's going to go lower, right? That's an inverse correlation for everybody who is new here. Just want to make sure it's very crystal clear. If you're enjoying the live stream, be sure to hit that like button down below. Anyway, big level on the dollar at 108 here. Realistically speaking, right where I drew my arrow to 111, I do think it can make its way up here to 111. The thing is right now, if we look at the Forex market for one moment, we look at the euro. Right now, a euro equals a dollar. This hasn't happened if we go to a monthly chart. This hasn't happened since 2002. Okay, so right now, especially trading Forex right now is kind of a more desirable market to be trading, but I've just been sticking with crypto. I haven't been nearly as aggressive trading crypto recently in this bear market, but Forex does have better opportunities right now to trade. It moves way better at the current moment in time, right? Because it's not in the middle of a huge macro bear market. But anyway, Forex, as you can see, the euro going ahead and testing this demand zone from 2002 on the Euro USD chart. So 1 euro right now equals $1. Everybody's talking about the dollar, right? The dollar, dollar this, dollar that. So all of that makes me think that we could be in for, possibly a short-term pullback. I've been saying this for a while now about the dollar. I'm expecting this to pull back. It keeps on ripping up higher. So just the fact that there's so much bullish sentiment out there makes me think that, we're kind of due for a little slight correction. But ultimately, this is on a huge, strong uptrend higher. And I do expect the dollar to continue this strong uptrend higher over the coming weeks to months, which again, the inverse correlation between the dollar and risk on assets means that we are not nearly done with this crypto bear market yet. All right, so again, the dollar going to continue pushing up higher over the coming weeks to months, in my opinion, which is bearish for crypto. Also, Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin dominance dropping lower and lower and lower. That's because Bitcoin right now, what we're seeing Bitcoin go sideways and altcoins rally. All right, and we are seeing capital flow into these altcoins, which is why Bitcoin dominance is going ahead and dropping right now. And it does look like it's headed back to around the 41.5 percentile in terms of the overall market cap of Bitcoin, or of cryptocurrency, the amount in Bitcoin, going back down to 41.5% here. Very strong downtrend. And remember, if anybody's been paying attention here over the past few months, one metric that I'm looking for in order for me to signal the end of the bear market is to see the Bitcoin dominance get back above 50%. Why, you may ask? Because that's just kind of it's what happens every single bear market, but mainly my reasoning, my hypothesis for this is because I want to see all of the trash get flushed out of the market. And how that will happen is if we see the Bitcoin dominance get back above 50%. So the fact that it's lowering right now means that alts will be short-term bullish, but ultimately speaking, we still have not made a lower low. If price goes ahead and loses the 41.5 level, that will mark a lower low, but this level can still hold down here, and then we can get another push up, keeping this uptrend intact, right? So still expecting this to get back above 50% on Bitcoin dominance, flush out all of the garbage from the market, all of the useless, no utility coins that were just money grabs. And then we can get the show on the road again and do it all over again, right? Another bull market, bunch of new coins that have no utility, only hype. Everybody starts buying them. People that get in early, catch 10, 20, 100 X's. And a bunch of people will be left holding the bag once again. History doesn't repeat, but it often does rhyme. So that's your Bitcoin dominance. Stablecoin dominance. Still holding the parabola on the weekly. Although it is definitely chopping around up here. But still a very clear uptrend. Currently in consolidation. As you can see, slightly red right now. So people are deploying their stablecoins into the altcoins, which is why we're seeing ETH break out and a lot of these other alts looking quite bullish at the current moment in time. Let's go ahead and check out what else is happening in the live chat. Aisha Ali saying, "Sir, need your advice about new exchange by the name Bitget. Its coin price is very low. Is it a good investment? Kindly take a look later on." Okay, so Aisha Ali, with Bitget, I am using them to trade nowadays. However, I have not purchased one of their tokens personally. BGB is the name of it. Is their token a good investment? Not really sure. I can't really speak on it. I do like trading on Bitget, but as far as buying their token, I'm really not interested in buying a lot of alts right now. Mainly been sticking to my main dollar cost average positions. The major cryptos like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Monero, etc. I haven't really been buying too many kind of lower mid caps. So that's just me. So I'm not buying it. I hope that answers your question. Shout out to Randy saying hola from Mexico. Tori saying hey, what's up, Tori? How are you? Glasshopper saying, "Are you still active in Department 77 training missions?" Glasshopper, I have not. I think I last checked it out maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. I sent my NFT droids out on some training, and then I haven't checked it since. It's been like 3 weeks probably since I last checked Department 77. So not very active, but another project that did move to Polygon Matic. A lot of Terra projects went ahead and migrated to Polygon. So very bullish on Polygon. I like that project, I like that coin, and of course Matic is the one that had a monstrous bull run last time around, and I think he can do the same again. Trucker Steve is saying, "I feel the same way with all things you mentioned. Tread casually, don't get fooled by these feel-good pumps and sentiment talked about across the intertube." Yes, very well said, Trucker Steve Sabat. I do, well said indeed. A lot of people love to drive engagement, farm engagement on their Twitter accounts, on their YouTube accounts. Oh, the bull market is back on, we're pumping. It's all a facade in my opinion, and I don't think we are out of the woods just yet. We have a long way to go still. So buckle up, like I've been saying. This ain't over. The fat lady has not sung yet. We still have some time here. Well said, Trucker Steve. Shout out to Adrian Kent. Tribesman, what utility does Bitcoin have? I don't know, man. I don't know. I wish I could describe Bitcoin's utility and use case. I just drink the Kool-Aid and I believe it has value. But you're right. It doesn't have any. I don't know. I can't answer that question at all. I'm being sarcastic, right? Go read the white paper. You can send money to anybody in the world for like cents. All right. You can't do that with a regular bank account, and your money will get censored. It's very powerful. It's very powerful technology. That's its use case. You can send money globally across borders without any issues. No middleman's going to stop you or charge you fees. That's all you need. All right. It's very useful. Hope that answers your question, Tribesman. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the Twitter wisdom section of the live stream. So, first of all, we'll take a look at the crypto Capo, and he is saying that don't let crypto Twitter noise change your vision of how things really are. He's not worried about this scam pump. He's still fully out of the market, and soon you'll see why. And yes, I do agree with this look on things. A lot of people are crazy bullish right now all of a sudden for a weekend pump. And I don't think there's any reason to be crazy bullish right now. For all we know, we can open up tomorrow, stocks could be down, and I wouldn't be surprised to see ETH back down to, $1,100, $1,000, and Bitcoin back below $20,000. I'm honestly anticipating that, and like I said, my plan is to go ahead and short Bitcoin back up here at $21,700 if it can make its way back up here. All right, so don't be overly bullish right now. Exercise caution. And again, I'll repeat myself, if you're not already positioned from lower levels, if you're not already entered into trades, you should not be chasing, okay? So be careful about that. And then in terms of what we have to look forward to, I've been talking about tech earnings, right? Most likely, these are going to be pretty bleak, not expecting good numbers. and that's very bearish because, of course, Bitcoin does trade like a tech stock in a way. It's very highly correlated to the NASDAQ. So we do have big tech earnings next week, which is in 2 days now. We have Netflix on the 19th. Then we have Tesla. Then we have Google and Microsoft 1 week after. Facebook, Apple, and Amazon in the beginning of August. All right, so all of these earnings, this is going to really let us know on how things are looking for big tech. And being that Bitcoin and crypto is so highly correlated to big tech, this is going to have a major implication on the prices of cryptocurrency assets. All right, and as you can see, Algot over here saying it's going to be fun with all the recent layoffs. Yes, big tech, we had free money. Interest rates were basically zero for the past 2 years. A lot of this free money, you can take out loans with barely any interest. A lot of this flowed into the big tech industry, big tech companies, through venture capitalists, etc., giving these companies money to operate when they're brand new and not turning a profit yet. A lot of the jobs at these companies are complete fluff, and there's going to be a lot of layoffs, and it's already starting. All right, unemployment is not good for a bull market. All these factors are getting added to the massive cauldron into the mix, and they are creating the perfect storm here. So we're not out of the woods just yet. Keep an eye on the big tech earnings coming up next week. Also, of course, we do have the FOMC meeting, which will be on July 27th. So not this Wednesday. This Wednesday will be July 20th. Next Wednesday will be July 27th. This is a big day because we will know the next interest rate hike. A lot of people are speculating that we will see a full 1% increase on interest rates. This will be major, right? I believe the expected is 0.75. Which is what it was last month. So either way, interest rates are still going up. Inflation is still a major problem. And again, these are two main factors to signal the end of the bear market for me. And they're still getting worse. And if the Fed goes ahead and raises interest rates by another full 1%, that is super, super bearish for risk on assets. All right. So be on the lookout for that for sure. Let's go ahead and catch up with the live chat. Aisha saying, after ETH merge and its update to 2.0, the layer 2 project will still be useful. Yes, they will be, right? The ETH merge, ETH has a long way to go. Even when it does shift over to proof of stake, it still has a ton of development, a ton of work to do. And yes, Polygon Matic, other layer 2s, Arbitrum, Optimism, ZK Sync, Starknet, Starkware, all of these networks, all these layer 2s will continue to grow even with the ETH merge because, listen, ETH's got a ton of work to do. And who knows, the merge might even be delayed as well. And there's going to be more delays in the future. But good question. Florent1980 saying, thanks for sharing your great content as always. It seems everyone is bullish after a few percent pump. I would prefer Bitcoin goes to 12K rather than 30K right now. This is a bear market. Let's accumulate. Florent, I do appreciate your support. Thank you for the compliments that my content is great. I do put a lot of energy into producing it, so thank you for that. And yes, I do agree with you. I do think we'll see 17K, 16K before we see 30K here, possibly even before we see 25. Again, if we do get the relief rally, 25K is the obvious level, right? From this wick back here in the May crash, right? This is the obvious level for a relief rally. But really, if you look at this chart, there's nothing but real air here, right? This big box, we can go ahead and shade this in like gray to make it easier. In gray, something like this. There's not a lot of resistance. There's not a lot of resistance at all here. So if we do get the relief rally, it would most likely go to either 25 as your first level and then 27 to 28. But if I could only pick one, I would say we see 16, 17K before we see these levels first. I'm cautious right now. Ian M saying, will be a 100-point hike. Canada was expecting a 75-point basis. They went a full 100 last week. Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, Ian. I do agree with what you're saying in terms of the big meeting on the 27th of July. In about 9 days' time, we'll see that. Nanook saying, hi, Connor. How's it going? It's going very well. Thank you for asking, Nanook. What's your thoughts on Glimmer? Also, what do you think of its current price? Good to buy in now? We can take a look at Glimmer before we go ahead and move on with our next segment of the Crypto Empire live stream scheduled programming for this live hour of power. But Glimmer trading at 61 cents. So as you can see, we were bear flagging it, and we did break down from the bear flag. And my analysis on this has not changed. As you can see, I still have all of my stuff up here. And with this, you can call this a triangle, a symmetrical triangle. The measure move for that would take us to 35 cents. And we're breaking down from a bear flag as well. So this chart's looking pretty bleak. We are holding the lows though. So you definitely have to take note of this support level holding down here. Definitely very important to note this. Right, we're holding these lows for the meantime, but you know, this is an obvious downwards momentum, downward sell pressure on this. I do still think we are headed down to these levels on Glimmer. Give it time. It's not going to happen tomorrow, but over the coming weeks to months, we should be seeing sub 40 cents Glimmer. With that being said, I still think Glimmer is a very strong project. I think it will do quite well next bull run, but I do think it will go lower here before it does go higher. We'll see. Big shout out to Dre dropping gems of knowledge in the live chat. We have Sniff. Sniff is saying, who wants BTC to go to 12K? Well, personally, listen, I wouldn't mind if Bitcoin goes to $12,000. I buy a few of them, right? Add them to the wallet, no problem. 12K for a Bitcoin, that's an absolute fire sale. So I wouldn't mind. Of course, I'm already exposed, so I don't need that to happen. But if it does happen, I wouldn't be complaining, right? Scoop up a few, add them to the chest, bury them in the ground, thousands of miles from my home. You know how it is. Frankie Legend saying, a lot of people don't know the pi cycle bottom indicator was made to fit past data and hasn't really been proven to be accurate on future bottoms. Yeah, the whole pi cycle jargon talk, it's complete garbage to me. Pi cycle bottom is fugazi to me. I don't care about the pi cycle bottom. Big shout out to Frankie Legend for bringing that up. Nanook saying, thanks Dre, have you heard of Glint? Yes, I have heard of Glint. Indeed, I have heard of Glint. Super low market cap project. As you can see, market cap is currently $391,000. So super low cap, micro cap coin. But it was the first decentralized exchange on the Moonbeam network. And they are offering pretty good rewards if you're providing liquidity right now. But I would not be providing liquidity to any DeFi application. Absolutely not. If we go to earn yield farms, check out these farms. You can see these APRs, 359% on Glimmer USDC, 1116% on Glimmer MAD USDC. I have to update myself on what MAD USDC is. But look at these APRs, guys. Stupid high APRs, but it's paid out in the Glint token, all right? And you know, this is in a bear market, a micro cap like this. The thing is, it doesn't take a lot of capital to move this, right? The fact there's only a 391K market cap lets me know there's no real big players in this at all, right? A big player, a crypto hedge fund, can easily deploy millions at the snap of a finger. So this thing could pump. Primed to do so, but you know, for now, super high risk, super high risk investment. So be careful. Aaron Ellis saying, will Phantom ever come back? Definitely not my first choice. FTM Phantom for a layer 1. Definitely not my first choice. Probably will remain relevant, right? As you can see my box here. Let's go ahead and move this to the right. Right, this is the hole that I want to see get filled. Right, we fill these holes. But yes, Phantom, not my first pick at all. But look at Ethereum Classic, right? Look at Neo. You know, these things, number 26 in market cap. You know, these things don't go away. So Phantom will not go away, but I'm not sure it will be able to return to its former glory. Right, especially that like the development team basically just left altogether. But yeah, expecting the hole to get filled on FTM. So that's FTM there. All right, let's go ahead. Before we get into the major altcoin section of the stream, where I'll be looking at altcoins rapid fire, let's go over some news. All right, first things first. I wanted to show you this, right? So this is going to be a big trend. You can see this post is sponsored by Algorand. So Algorand paying for articles, and it's about the ENFT tackling climate change, etc., etc., etc. Watch this narrative get pushed extremely hard over the coming months to years. You know, climate, zero emission cryptos, green this, green that, etc., etc. They're going to pay for everything. It's all going to be sponsored, right? So there's a huge agenda at play here. So we can basically go off of this speculation, right? We know that it's a major trend. Everything's going electric, right? Projects like Algorand want to brand themselves as the most carbon neutral, you know, blockchain out there, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We know Algorand is compliant with the ISO 20022, you know, international banking guidelines, right? So Algo, it's a safe bet. You're not going to get like a 50, 100x on Algo, right? Because there's so many. It constantly gets sold off by their early guys. But Algo, right? If we look at this, did maybe a 10x from the March 2020 crash. So if we look at Algo, it was around 15 cents March of 2020. 14, 15 cents. And the all-time high that it made was around, this is not perfect, but around $2 to $3. Okay, so it still did like over a 10x from its low to its high. But at the same time, you know, Ethereum went 50x. Cardano did better than Ethereum from its March 2020 lows. But Algo is like a safe pick to get yourself to multiply your money by the time the next bull run comes around. Not financial advice, but it's at least going to like 4 or 5x, maybe 10x, right? Just a super, super safe, moderate, conservative pick, Algorand. It's going to be a major layer 1 blockchain. A lot of stuff will get built on it. And it has the narrative of being carbon neutral, green, good for the environment. The banks are in on it. It's a bankster coin. So it's just a safe pick here. If somebody out there doesn't want to get super speculative and invest in basically just something that, you know, they can feel relatively safe about, obviously everything in crypto is extremely high risk, but I do think Algo will be able to give you some moderate returns, and it does have these narratives going for it, and they're going to pay for everything. Everything will be sponsored. Everything, there's a huge agenda at play, so just be careful about that. No, understand what's going on basically. And then we can go ahead and see this, that traditional finance interest in crypto has not waned at all, right? All the legacy financial guys, the hedge funds, you know, trading desks, etc., banks, they're all in on crypto, and their interest is only going to go up higher, all right? And there is a trickle-down effect of information, right? So we will have another raging bull market again, right? It's set up. We had a contagion. We had major firms go bankrupt, billions of dollars lost, right? All this stuff, major macroeconomic bear market. So all these factors coming into play, but everything will return, and there will be even more institutional investors the next time around. All right. So traditional finance, they are in on it. We can go ahead and read. JP Morgan already uses his own stable coin, the JPM coin, backed 1-to-1 by the US dollar as a tokenized form of the dollar, helping facilitate transactions for institutional clients. Stuff like that. Talking about MakerDAO, talking about crypto hedge funds too. The hedge funds love Maker. They love it. Absolutely love it. Right? MKR. Another safe pick. Super, super conservative safe pick. We'll see if it wants to come back down to $500 around. $500 is a major level if we look at the chart. Let's go to a monthly. As you can see down here, already outlined from 575 down to 430, there is a level of demand down here on Maker. But again, super conservative pick here. Super, super conservative safe pick. It's not going to give you 100x, but you'll be able to catch a few multiples. All right, so for anybody out there who's not looking to be a total gambler, putting all of your money on the line in micro cap altcoins, look for these coins that I'm mentioning right now, because this is what the big boys are buying, right? The big firms, hedge funds, banks, yada, yada, yada. These are the coins they're into. Algo, Maker, stuff like that, all right? So let's see what else we can get out of this article. Nothing really cool. Talking about some crypto global news. So Russia has went ahead and signed a bill that adds to a previous prohibition against cryptocurrency payments in the country. So Putin not wanting anybody to use Bitcoin. So going back, somebody asked me earlier in the stream, what's Bitcoin's use case? It allows you to send money without the government stopping you. Pretty good use case. And obviously, Big P doesn't like that use case, so he's signing a bill saying that you're not allowed to do that. I wonder why? Well, it does give you a lot of sovereignty, power, and freedom over your own money, which of course, guys like Putin and other government officials don't exactly want, okay? So we're seeing stuff like this take place. We can see the law was approved by the Russian Assembly on July 8th. It bans the use of digital securities and utility tokens, very obscure language here, as a means of payment for goods, services, and products in Russia. The amendment adds to the previous digital asset law drafted in 2020, which banned cryptocurrencies from being used as payments. That's its use case. That's the use case of cryptocurrency. Currency, it's a method of payment, right? They don't want that to happen. They don't want that free flow of money, because money flows. Currency, money is just like water. It is constantly moving, constantly changing hands. If you look at water, it does not stop moving. And if you look at still water, water that's not moving, it's disgusting, it's gross, and that's how pond scum forms. All right, water that's always moving, right? It rains down, goes in a river flows. People drink it. Yada, 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 goes back into the sky, into the clouds, rains again. Money is the same, right? You get paid in your bank account, you pay your rent, you buy groceries, it goes to all these different places. Money constantly changing hands. It is currency. And obviously Russia does not like people having authority over their own money. They want everybody to use fiat. All right, so we can go ahead and see they introduced a bill to Parliament that would regulate currencies in the country, cryptocurrencies. Let's see. Bank of Russia has pushed for crypto activity to be banned. You wonder why, right? So interesting global news here coming out of Russia. And some more global news talking about Paraguay. They are doing the opposite and opening their arms to cryptocurrency, signing bills, passing bills to regulate crypto mining and trading. All right, so we are going to see these currency wars play out on a global scale. And yes, El Salvador went ahead and made Bitcoin legal tender very early last year, the first one to do it. I still do expect a lot of countries to follow suit. And the ones that go ahead and inhibit crypto growth are going to see a lot of their talent move over to the places where crypto growth can thrive without restriction. Simply put. All right, so Paraguay, South American countries, of course, South American countries have been destroyed by fiat economics for the past few decades. So looking for alternatives. What better alternative out there than something like Bitcoin, where there's a limited supply, can't be manipulated on a major scale by being inflated. And of course, there's a finite supply. You can't print it into oblivion. It's the main thing, really. That scarcity effect. All right, so that's our major global crypto news. Now we can go ahead and have a lot of fun charting a bunch of altcoins. I will start things up looking at Cardano first. And while I do that, before I do that, I do want to catch up with the live chat and see what is going on. So let me go ahead and see what's going on. Woody's saying, is your ideal entry point for H-bar still 3 cents? We have been hanging out at 6.5 cents for some time now. I don't want to miss the lowest area for this one, as I agree with you. It is a good one. Let's look at H-bar before I look at Cardano. Big shout out to Woody. So yes, it has been hanging out here at 6.5 for some time. Good observation. Looking at the weekly chart, why we're hanging out there, it's a very strong support level. It was previously a very strong resistance level on H-bar right here at 6.5, 6.2. As you can see back here, 2020, before the big crash, price went to 1.7 cents. Price was struggling to get above the 6 cent level. Again, over here in DeFi summer, August of 2020, price was struggling to get above 6. And then in January 2021, it broke that level and it went on a run of 600%. Okay, so major level now being used, previous resistance, currently support. It's hanging out here. So you could see it push out of this. But 3, not sure we get to 3, but 4.5 to 4 does look like it could definitely get hit. With that being said, Woody, if you really like H-bar, you shouldn't just wait for it to drop lower. You should take the dollar cost average approach, not financial advice, of course. But yeah, I would take a DCA approach on this. 6 cents, 6.5 cents, great price. We go below 5 cents to 4 cents, even better price. You know, right now as it stands, I get asked this question all the time. Connor, I have 100 grand. I have 200 grand. Connor, I have 350K. Should I buy Bitcoin now? Should I put everything in crypto now? I literally get DM'd this like multiple times per week. My answer is very simple. I've personally deployed around 30% of my capital that I plan on allocating to crypto. The rest of it is still in cash. You should have cash. You need to have cash on hand right now. Cash, yes, it is inflated. It is macro-wise, it is trash, but US dollars are still the strongest fiat currency out there. You need to be holding cash right now. If you're not holding any cash, you may have a couple screws loose up here, all right? Cash is king right now. So yes, I've deployed around 30% of my capital. So Woody, hope that answers your question, right? You shouldn't just wait for 3 cents. Just chip away at it. Take some bites out. Nibble at it. And yeah, not sure we'll get to 3, but there's a reason of why I said 3, right? Look at the chart. Major support level down here on H-bar. But we're also at a major support level currently. So we'll see if it holds. But again, I still think we got a few months of the bear market. I doubt we're going to chop around here for a few months, right? The trend is your friend, and right now the trend is still down. So that's H-bar. Now, Nuke is saying crypto is already fairly green compared to other, but these green projects like Algo and H-bar might give a push to bring in new investors. Most likely it's just marketing through those strategic. Yes, it is marketing to Nuke. It is definitely strategic marketing there. Sniff saying the wiki page for ISO says ISO compliance isn't mandatory from a regulatory standpoint, but is highly encouraged for international settlements. Well, that's what DeFi is for. Yeah, listen. Nothing is mandatory. That word mandatory doesn't really fit well with somebody like myself. right? So I do agree that nothing is mandatory, but of course the banks are going to want people to use, or other banks to use, stuff that they've already regulated. So yeah, it won't be mandatory to use it, but they're going to push for it. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at TA now on these alts. I was going to start off on Cardano. Let's look at the daily chart. So Cardano, ADA, long story short, I did expect this push up to resistance at 45 cents. As you can see, price is having quite the hard time getting through this level. Past 4 hours, getting back up to the 45 cents resistance level. But notice the weak buying volume, all right? So we're headed into resistance on weak buying volume. That's not really a good sign at all. You want to see strong buying volume into resistance. We do have the daily candle open happening in 39 minutes from now. So we could be pushing up into resistance only to get rejected at the open of the weekly. So yeah, ADA right now at resistance. I don't want to be a buyer at resistance. If I was to get into ADA, I would want to do it down here at 43 cents. Right? I don't want to be a buyer up here at resistance. Goes off of what I was saying before. And we can also, real quick, let's look at Bitcoin on the weekly, just so you have an idea of what this weekly candle looks like. And this is the weekly range, right? From 21,800 down to 18,710. And this weekly candle is just complete indecision from top to bottom. So, market's undecided. Big week coming up now. No FOMC meeting this week. So there's room to run in whatever direction we see here, right? If it wants to break out, there's a full week of no meetings or whatever hosh-posh that they like to manipulate price with, right? Because if you notice, with all FOMC CPI meetings, for the days leading up to it, it is just completely stagnant, non-directional price action. Let's look at Matic for a guy Glasshopper. Matic, look at this weekly on Matic. Absolute chatting it out here. And for Matic, as you can see, the levels, yeah, my last TP was 66 cents. That got smashed, and now it's even, pushing up as high as 79. This thing could run to 90 cents, right? If you look at the 89 cent level on the daily, clear level up here, 89 cents, 88 and a half. So it still has some room to run, although I would be cautious, being that we were just rejected at resistance. Would definitely not be a buyer up here, but impressive strength coming from Matic. Big shout out to LG giving a $5 super chat, saying, appreciate your insight, Connor. Keep dominating the crypto markets. Huge shout out to my guy, LG. Thank you for that super chat. Your support is greatly appreciated. And indeed, we will keep dominating the crypto markets. Huge shout out to my guy, LG. So yes, Matic, I don't want to be a buyer up here at resistance. All right, I would wait for a strong pullback, most likely back down to the 60 cent level, before I even decide about doing anything on this. But Matic, we caught this win, but still has a little bit of room to run here. Baloney asking, can we look at STORJ? Indeed, we can look at STORJ. STORJ on the daily looks like it's wedging. A little bit of a wedge here. Show you what I'm seeing. Of course, a descending wedge like this is indeed bullish. And, also what do we have, right? You can even call this a bit of a flag. Thing pumping out of the bottom for 36 cents. This is almost 100% gain here, kind of like Matic. A 200% pump from low to high. Currently from the low, it's up 100%. So strong move. And this is not that long. If we look at the date range of this, This happened in 9 days. It went 200%, and it's been around a month from that low, still up 100%. So pretty strong altcoin here. I do want to check the market cap of STORJ. I remember last bull market when this got listed on Coinbase. If we look at this chart, we'll see what happened when it got listed on Coinbase. I think it was this first pump here in April. It just went crazy. All-time high at 381, right? That was March 28th. But right now, yeah, we're in a descending wedge, and the target for your descending wedges is always going to be the top of the wedge, and that would be up here at around 97 cents to $1. So if this does want to push up out of the wedge, you want to take your profit at 97 cents. If it does break down, we do have lower support down here at around 52.50 cents. All right, so that's your basically broad overview analysis on STORJ. We only have a few minutes left now, so I do want to keep it rapid fire. We can also look at Solana. Looking at Sol. Looking at Solana, not exactly like Ethereum where it already went ahead and broke out of its range. Even yeah, it's a pretty interesting chart actually if you compare it to the others. It looks similar but also different at the same time. As they say in Thailand, don't know if anybody's ever been to Thailand, but they have a saying there, same but different. Right? That's what they say, and that's what's going through my mind right now looking at this Solana chart. Same as the other alts, but different. And Sol right now, obvious resistance at 41.50. That's your range high currently, and being rejected on the daily weekday so far for Sol. And this is just oscillating, not really doing anything too crazy here. So a play could be, like I said, I'm exercising caution here. And as you can see, I've had this mark from down here as your level to look for a short. Basically, I was saying over here, when we break this, you look for a breakdown. And I still do like that plan, right? I think price will come back down to this $37 level. Below it, you want to be short, okay? So look for price to come back down to 37 if you want to scalp. I'm not saying you should. But if you wanted to, you can put your stop above the current candle and take it's not even worth it, 4% move. But yeah, Solana right now, total oscillation, moving up and down in a pretty tight range. And it's at the top end of the range, right? So when I learned how to trade, basically they taught me to split up the chart into thirds, 1, 2, 3. Okay, low range, mid range, top range. Top range is where you want to look for your supply zones to short. And I mean, just basically speaking here, we're at the top of the range, and we've already been rejected. But again, up here is you're buying at the top of a range. You don't want to be a buyer up here. So yeah, look for Solana to come back down to 37. Below 37, you want to short. And you can go ahead and ride that down. So that's Solana. But your bullish outlook, we go up to 47. Right? This is, of course, you have to express both possibilities, being that I am kind of split, you know, or in a 50-50 stance right now. So if we do get that push up, I would look to short Sol at my outline levels. First one at 47, 49, and then 52 as well. Big levels to short Solana. Guys, we do have 49 viewers and only 33 likes. I do ask you, smash that like button if you're enjoying the live stream thus far. I do greatly appreciate all of your support. With that being said, it is time to go ahead and start wrapping up the live stream. This was a full jam-packed hour of absolute awesomeness. I hope that you did enjoy the stream as much as I enjoyed hosting it. If you want to trade altcoins, buy them spot, so you can send it to your own wallets, and you're looking for an exchange to do so, go ahead and check out Bitget. All right, if you use my affiliate link, you will get a major lifetime discount on fees. So you might as well use that. And there are some other awesome bonuses as well that you do get for using my link. So definitely check out Bitget. And if you do want to join the Crypto Empire Premium Discord group, go ahead to my official website, cryptoempireco.io. You see it on the banner of the screen right now that you're watching. Head over to my website, take a look at all the information here, and then you can go ahead and check out the Discord up here and go ahead and get yourself in there. Right now, starting to let everybody know what low caps I'm getting into in the midst of this bear market. And of course, my daily updates, stuff like that. And being that I'm back in action now, it's only going to be getting way better from here. Other than that, of course, subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter at @CCell_8. You can't miss me. Connor Crypto Empire. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter as well. If you have any questions, join the free Telegram group. We have a whole community always in there. I'm always in there. Can't go wrong. It's free. Join the Telegram group. Got a clogged throat right now. To clear my throat. Anyway, this is it. It's time to wrap up the live stream. Appreciate everybody's support here. And have a great rest of your weekend. Be productive. If it's already Monday where you are in the world, if you're on the other hemisphere, have a great Monday. I can't wait to be back up here in my studio making awesome content for all of you. I'll see you all in the next video. Have an amazing night. Connor from Crypto Empire, signing out.